Heidi ho, and welcome to the diary. This is the diary. I'm Scott Johnson, and welcome back. Hey, I told you I'd do these more frequently. Did you believe me? I've made this promise before in the history of this show. I mean, we're 281 episodes in over. Jeez, is it almost 2 decades of just like scattering these in? Is that right? Hold on. I don't know, actually. Let's see if we can find. You know what? Little experiment time, real quick here. Let's go to the diary archive, and let's look at the oldest episode. Diary episode 1, March 2nd, 2006. So 18 years of the diary. Can that be right? Holy crap. I mean, the first, almost 20 episodes were video. And then after that, it became an audio thing. Let's go back. Let's go back to 5/31/07. Okay. This is like pre-smartphone. Let's just see what that sounded like.
Hey everybody, Diary of a Cartoonist, May 31st. Why can't I get dates right? Honestly. Wow. May 31st, 2007. It's about noon. And I am going to a lunch appointment with a client and dropping off some paperwork.
Okay, well, there was busy, multifaceted Scott trying to do the 9 to 5 and his side gigs back in 07. Let's jump ahead to let's see, 11/11/2010. How about that? Or I'll skip ahead some.
The outdoor part, I'm thinking, I guess. This place gets used for businesses to do conferences. It gets used for weddings. It gets used for all sorts of stuff where you need a lot of room for a lot of people.
Oh, Nerdtacular Planning 2010. Ooh. Well, anyway, this little trip through time is brought to you by me, Scott Johnson. That's right. Next time you need a Johnson, think Scott Johnson. All right. That's not why I'm in here. I wanted to just pop in and vent a little about a thing. I'm a little annoyed. So I'm in a... I don't know if I've talked about it here. I've talked about it elsewhere, but I am in a kind of a news blackout mode and have been for a bit, where I don't watch any television or televised news of any kind. No 24-hour news networks, no CNN, no Fox, no, who else is doing it? MSNBC. Is that all there is? Whatever. I don't watch any of that. I don't listen to any kind of news, radio sort of stuff. Used to be a regular BBC radio listener, an NPR and that kind of thing, and those are pretty mild in terms of it's not sensational news sources or anything. But even that stuff I kind of avoid now, and it was a decision to sort of, I don't know, round out my mental health because I just felt like 80 to 90% of what I was hearing would put me in a funk, and this isn't this isn't a new thought or anything, but it just felt like news was hyperbolic to a fault, and it just wasn't good for me. So so I sort of avoid it, and I do it online as well. I don't read Twitter. I read what my followers are up to, but I don't really read, certainly not news Twitter, right? Or any social media. I don't really use Twitter like I used to anyway, but just sort of avoid it all, right? And so sometimes, or most of the time, this is a really good, healthy thing for me. It's actually good for me. Yesterday, it bit me in the butt, like hard. How, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. This whole hey, you could be somewhere in the United States and see the Aurora Borealis for the first time, and maybe the only time you'll ever see it, because you may never make it to, a Nordic country where you can see it all the time. So check it out. It's in your sky today or whatever. And I was seeing this morning, I woke up to images from Michigan and, people in our community in Oregon and all these different places, these beautiful shots of this thing. And it was due to some solar storm. Anyway, I'm completely uninformed. I literally slept on it. I didn't know that this was a thing. I didn't bother to go outside. And because, Carter, it's the sort of thing she would know about, but she's very busy getting ready for a con today that her and her friends are all going to. So they're doing costumes and just busy in their room hacking away. And Kim is like me. She's like, yeah, news, ugh, gross, right? So we didn't know about this. And I'm sure that's how we would have been informed if we'd have just, turned on, I don't know, the local news even or something and just had them say, well, thanks for the weather there, Bill. Now a reminder, if you're outside on a clear night, you might be able to burp. Good night, everybody. Like we may have heard all that, but because we avoid it, we didn't know. So yeah, this is the one time since my, news fast began where I have real regrets because I don't know that I'm going to see that ever. I mean, I hope one day to go to Iceland or somewhere like that on vacation and, experience it for myself, but there's no guarantees. And, like the eclipse was a different kind of deal because we didn't have the best view from where we were, but, I've seen that before. And it's always amazing and cool and everything, but I've never seen this. This is like, I don't know, felt once in a lifetime. And it felt like a Nimrod for missing it. So here I am venting about how, even if I'd have just checked in with all my Discord buddies the night before, I would have seen talk of this and a few photos. I would have gone, oh, really? This is right now? Okay, cool. I'll go outside. Like I didn't even do that. I didn't check in with anybody. I had a really busy day yesterday, shows and stuff, just cranking it, got it all done. My weekend is crazy here in about 10 minutes. I got film sack. And then after that, I have to rush to a lunch thing for my mom's Mother's Day thing. And then rush back here, take care of dogs. And we have to go right back out for my wife's family, Mother's Day stuff. It's all happening today. And then tomorrow we have an early morning Mother's Day thing for her. Like it's just kind of nonstop. And then the very next weekend, my niece's birthday and a whole bunch of my family are coming in town from Phoenix and Minnesota and all over the place. Like it's kind of chaos around here and plus all the other stuff I got to do. I'm not complaining. Look, I know people, whatever. Somebody got a cancer diagnosis this week, or somebody got in a car accident and lost the use of their legs. Or I understand these are petty. These are wee bitty itty bitty problems. I'm not going to pretend that I'm in some rarefied special zone here or that I've got it worse than anyone else. I'm just saying I was annoyed. And I'm still annoyed. I can live vicariously through you guys. I can go see your pictures now and it'll be cool. But I really wish I would have known. And how do you know? You don't know? Nobody knows. How do you know? Well, you do know because you watched the news or you paid attention or you read up or whatever. I did this thing where my avoidance of sources of information, as dubious as they are sometimes, would have informed me about this cool once in a lifetime thing. And I could have had a whole thing around it. We could have had all the kids over and said, all right, everybody come over. We're going to have a little, borealis party, borealis, big time borealis bash, BBB. But no, instead I watched Boys in the Hood last night, wrote all my notes, captured all my clips, went upstairs, ate spaghetti, I think it was, heard tale of today's P.F. Chang's visit with my mom, and then played some video games in bed on my Steam Deck, read my book for a while that I'm reading. Red Rising, by the way, awesome book. And then I fell asleep. All right, I've harped on it enough. But you get the idea. Don't be like me. Have some, find some form of, find an information source that doesn't actively want to outrage you, but does inform you. All right, I'm on the hunt for that these days. The 1400 or 1440, is it? Or 1400? 1400? What is that? Shit. 1440, right? Yeah, 1440 Daily Digest. This is like this newsletter I subscribe to. This probably could have told me. Let's see. Yeah, here it is right here, their top story. An extreme G5 geomagnetic storm reached Earth last night. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the G5 storm is the strongest to hit Earth since October 2003. The storm triggered the Aurora Borealis, commonly known as the Northern Lights, in many parts of the U.S. and around the world. Geomagnetic conditions could persist through the weekend. Ooh! So maybe I can still see it. But it says here it could potentially disrupt telecommunications and power grids. It's a temporal disturbance in Earth's magnetosphere. Let me skip ahead. It's caused by solar flares and coronal mass injections. This is all sun stuff. Let's see. This week's solar flare have been associated with a sunspot cluster that is 17 times the diameter of Earth, and the Earth's diameter is roughly 7,926 miles. That's big. An average of 4 G4 geomagnetic storms occur every solar cycle. The 11-year cycle of the sun's magnetic field, the current solar cycle, began in December of 2019. Okay, so if I would have just looked at this yesterday, this came out yesterday. Where was I? What was I doing? Why didn't I check my email? I subscribed to this for this very reason. Look how non-hyperbolic that read was. They just give it to you straight. It's like, hey, Scott, you want some just raw-ass news that doesn't fiddle around and try to tweak all your emotions? Here you go. That's why I signed up for this, and I highly recommend it, by the way. 1440 Daily Digest, just Google it. But yeah, I'm just annoyed. Oh, and there's also little nice stories here too. The humankind stories. Check this out. 100-year-old veteran, a former pilot, finally received his college diploma. Oh, that's nice. How about this one? Texas postal worker discovers undelivered letters from a World War II veteran. Personally travels to Arkansas to return the letters to the veteran's family. That's pretty great. How about this one? Wisconsin 8th grader honored for grabbing the wheel of a school bus after the driver lost consciousness. This is all, again, I love this source. This is one of the sources I trust. Did I check it so that I could be all borealist? No. For shit's sakes. Pardon my French. All right, that's it. Just wanted to check in with you. Hope you're all having a good one. More diaries soon. You guys are awesome. Thanks a lot for everything you do, and I'll see you next time.